Numerologist Glynis McCants. Excited to have you here to join me for a really good show. Today we have Dr. Linda Salvin, and she is remarkable. So when we bring her on, I'm going to let her share her story. What made her who she is today, because it wasn't always just one way for her. She had a whole different career, but then she experienced something that just completely changed her life. In her case, it was a near-death experience. And I say because she's a 5, it's happened more than once. I have to giggle because that's just 5s, man. And lest we forget that a 5 life path has 9 lives. So, you can't just take them down if you want to. They have tremendous power. But we're going to be talking to her. And right now, I want you to say hi. Everyone's welcome to join in. But what I want to cover, because this full moon is a big deal. We're dealing with a full moon. And as of yesterday, Mercury went into retrograde. And my goodness, I find the people who follow my work, they tend to have like a 2 somewhere in the chart. There's certain numbers like 3, 6, 9, 6 is definitely sensitive. 7s, you feel it. You can feel not just the full moon, but Mercury retrograde when it comes to communication. Like my example yesterday is my email went down. Like I couldn't even get in. It's like, oh, sorry, we're having a problem. Try back later. And of course, I had some really important emails that were supposed to come through. So that was hugely frustrating. But had I not known Mercury was in retrograde, I would have been more upset, right? I just made a note of it. But the full moon, here's the thing. Yes, some of us can feel exhilarated, excited, more sensual. But a lot of us also can experience that feeling of like something's troubling you, or you feel a little depressed. And yesterday, I was thinking, wow, did I not take my vitamins? Because I was feeling that. I felt this weird pressure on me. And I'm like, what is that? And then I remembered, oh boy, it's the full moon. Now, the gift of the full moon, and I'm sure Dr. Linda will agree with this, it promotes your psychic ability. And you do tap into truth, like you just know what the truth is. But I just think it's extremely important that all of you make a note of it. Make a note, not just the full moon that it was last night. You're going to feel it for at least a week, possibly 2, because it's a huge energy. And then Mercury retrograde, it's going to go, I believe they say, till July 23rd. Anyone's welcome to check that to tell me when does this particular Mercury retrograde end, because it's going to have a big impact. But again, the key, people are like, I don't want to sign a contract. I don't even want to get out of bed. That's not the point. Of course you do. What you have to do, though, is proceed with caution, right? Don't assume that you read this contract, you know what it said. This is worth double checking. This is worth getting an attorney to look at it, because you don't want to regret that decision later. And then if you're hanging with a friend and they were supposed to get back to you and they don't take it personally. Just follow up with them again, right? That's the key. If you understand that communication, electronics, all of it. Like I'm hearing story after story. Someone's computer did not work. Guy was working on this book, his chapter that he just wrote disappeared. Yeah, that's communication. That's Mercury retrograde. So it's real important. And now what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to bring on Dr. Linda Salvin. Let's go ahead and add her to the stage.
Hi, Glynis.
So I do want you to jump in and tell your story. And didn't you say it started in 1981? Is that correct?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay. 45 years ago.
Wow.
45 years ago. Yes. Thank you for having me on this show. And yes. For all your viewers and listeners and fans, Glynis and I go way back. I was at a seminar 15 years ago or whatever, and we crossed paths many, many times. And 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we said, let's do the show. And then, of course, life took over, and here we are finally getting it together. In a nutshell, yes, I'm pretty well known as a psychic healer and a medium. Most people don't do all 3. I do. Quickly, I have a master's degree in public health epidemiology, the big word today with the pandemic, obviously, with diseases. And I received my degree from the University of Michigan back in 1977. I'm a native of Los Angeles, went back to the Midwest for graduate school, came home 4 years later. I was on company business as an environmental health specialist. And while I was up in San Jose with my partner working as an environmental health specialist, we were at a hospital doing some work. And we were sitting in the San Jose airport, and I looked to my right, and we could see the airplane sitting there. And I said, doesn't it look like it's going to crack there? And I had a vision. I never had a vision like that. And I saw like an exhaust settlement or a fuelage problem on the body of the plane. And I said, doesn't it look like it's going to crack? He said, Linda, you're just tired. Well, an hour later, the plane cracked in half on the 17th or 18th aisle. We crash landed to avoid collision with another plane taking off on the same runway. It was Air California. You can look it up online. Now, we didn't have the internet back then because the internet didn't happen until 1996. This is 1981. And it was flight 336, Air California. An engine fell off. The landing gear was stripped, and then the plane cracked in half. And as I slid down the ramp, a loud voice spoke to me, said, don't do this. And I was given a message, and I became what's known as a walk-in, which I didn't know anything about back then because I didn't, there's whatever. All I know is that when I hit the ground and I ran, some guy found me in the middle of the lawn. If you know the 405 freeway and you know where John Wayne Airport is, there's the 405 freeway here in Southern California, in Orange County. And then I panned and I saw the paramedics. I panned and I saw the terminals. I panned, I saw the plane on its belly on fire. And I just said, oh my God, I survived a plane crash. But what happened to me is I was 50 feet out of my body on the left, and I was standing 5 feet 8 on the right, because I'm 5 feet 8. But I didn't know I'd had an out-of-body experience. I didn't know I was having a near-death experience. None of these words were part of my vocabulary as a scientist and as a 27-year-old. In 1981, we didn't talk like this. I mean, it was very taboo. We kind of had interest in the spiritual world or numerology, astrology in the newspaper, whatever. But I was taken to the hospital, and I told them I was split in half. and they said, you're not split in half, but I was split in half. The sensation lasted for 4 months. Long story short, whatever entered me, I had gone to a psychic a month later, and a woman, her back was to me. A friend of mine said, go see a psychic. Second time in my life, I didn't believe in psychics. And I walked in and she said, oh, you're a walk-in. I said, what's a walk-in? She goes, what's when you're close to death and something enters you and takes over the soul. So she gave me Ruth Montgomery's book, Strangers Among Us, that was written published in 1979. And I read it and I understood the walk-in theory. And I thought, well, I was just in a plane crash. So I started to understand. She goes, well, whatever entered you is a psychic. So I'm not a psychic. She goes, you're going to become a very well-known psychic around the world. I laughed at this woman in 1981. Well, here it is, 2026, 45 years later. I'm known all over the world. And I still laugh, but it happened. I didn't just get up and go. I became very frightened for many years. It took 6 years to recuperate from the plane crash. Within that time, I got hit by a fire truck here in Los Angeles, took me to another psychic level. And then 2 years later, I totaled a car, had a white light experience. You might get chills, people, but a white light went from the ceiling of the top of my head, the ceiling of my car into the heavens. And this loud voice said, you can come with us now or stay and do. And I was given a message. And when the paramedics came to get me, there was the same voice I heard coming down the ramp. I said, they want me off the planet because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody, whatever. But I was now, in retrospect, I learned I was being initiated to the spiritual world. And I know there's a God. I know there's a veil. I know we're in a different dimension. I have seen the other dimension. I lost a lot of friends. The material world versus the spiritual world is a very different reality. Yes, I understand the number system. Yes, I love what you do. Yes, I apply it with myself, but there's so much more with God, spirituality, love, companionship, synchronicity, how it all comes together. It's so diverse. I mean, we could talk forever, but
yes.
Some of the greats like Dr. Carl Jung was the first to define synchronicity when he saw the dolphins coming out of the ocean in India while I was on a train. Or years ago, I was the first radio psychic, folks. They created the radio psychic in 1994 here in LA on the KBIG 104. And there was a woman then who was 97, I don't know, but she used to be Edgar Casey's photographer in the 40s. And she said, I was like Edgar Casey. I have a picture that she took in the 40s of the Casey family. And that was quite a compliment back then. And I have the healing abilities, which came after a hysterectomy. And I have healed people. And then after 100 tumors removed from my hips and thighs from healing so many people, I started mediumship, communicating with the other side. And I used to talk to dead people for 22 years. I channeled, and I professionally stopped in 2018. I still do it. I have the gift, but it took me to such a different place.
Yeah.
I love helping people, but it took a toll on me as a woman, as a person,
Yes.
my face,
Yes.
my soul, my life. I think it's a great gift. I can prove that there's life after death, but I still have life of my own on the planet. I'm now
That's right.
I'm now 72, the opposite of my 27 when it all happened. I'm 72 years old now. And I don't know how much time I have left, but I have to, I'm refocused now, but I have done a lot to help people like you do. We have this drive, both of us, Glynis, we are here to provide light, information, soul evolution. If not everybody has it, but everybody wants a piece of it, right? We're gifted, you and I. We have this other thing that we're connected to help, but at the same time, take care of ourselves and our family, like you with your mom. Like I lost my dad, and the grief. I'm still processing the grief. It's hard, but we're still human, even though we have this. But back then, especially without the internet, no Google, there was no one to talk to. I had to go through it myself. And the way it all happened to get my career is like one day I was on Wilshire Boulevard at Ventura. I just raised my hands and said, what the F do you want me to do? And I found God. I just had to find a God because I knew.
But that's very much in your chart. So what I do want to do is talk about your blueprint, because honestly, even though your life has been crazy, looking at your numbers, there's a tale to tell. So a couple
supposedly things. Just like John Lennon. I'm supposedly on the same course as John Lennon.
Well, what you have, the 2-7 is in your chart, and that's naturally psychic. You know, the 2-7, angel energy, ghost energy loves you. Like it feels like it's allowed to come to it.
Great. Yeah,
it really thinks it can. And your soul, because it's a 2, you care deeply about people. Like you have a lot of compassion. So then you have to work on boundaries. You know, it's like sometimes you fall in and you can't afford to do that. But the fact that you're ultimately a 5, the 5's life is so often like a book, like it's not to be believed. People are shocked by your story, right? Yeah. They're shocked. They just feel like, wow, that happened to you. And it did, but it's unreal. Like for them, they can't even imagine surviving. But you are
2, 3, 4. You think, really? Yeah, I used to say, like, if it hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't believe it either. Yeah, you're right.
But the beauty of what you have, because a cat has 9 lives, you've been through these near-death experiences. I think as time continues, you're going to become even more zen, like because you're going to find that where you finally just go, yeah, I'm helping people, but I'm not going to let it impact me the way it does. Because you got a huge heart. That's the thing. You know, you care deeply. And as a result, when someone you love hurts you, you're shocked. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? Because you also have a 4 attitude, which is fiercely loyal. You know, if you care about someone, you mean it. And then seeking knowledge. Dr. Linda, you're obsessed with learning. It's like every time you learn something new, it makes you happy. Yeah. So how true is that?
Very true. And it's interesting you're talking about the Zen, because what I've learned in the last year, especially since losing my father, I have learned and recognized I'm detaching more and more from people, places, and things. A lot of people left me at the time I needed them most. So I got to see who my real friends are when I needed and I was hurting. And people just, maybe they came to the memorial, but then they didn't show up after. It's like, why are they gone all of a sudden? But what's also happened, I was a keynote in India a year ago with this organization that's taken me leaps and bounds. And one of the attendees was the number 2 monk with the Hare Krishna. And he came up to me and said, you are a healer. And that's like the biggest compliment. And I'm now getting more involved, not as a Hare Krishna, but with their community. The Hindus are acknowledging my healing. So he had me meet his Swami, his mentor, who's a Swami. And the feeling, I'm reading his book called The Journey Home, and listening to his journey from the 60s when he was in his teens to where he is now in his 70s. And it's more, I mean, I'm not going to go become a monk, but it's still that spiritual thirst. Some of us just want to know God. What is God? How do you get to God? How do we find God in a material world? How do you walk both lives? And that's what
I have to say, when you talk about my mother, she literally taught us to have faith. Like our faith in God, we all have it. And that's a family of 13. That's a lot of people. So what she did, she had intercoms in every room for us to pray. We would all pray in our rooms. It was like the Waltons, when they'd say, "Good night, John Boy." We did it throughout the house. But the point is, that level of faith I've always been blessed with, as has Vanessa, which I will pull on in a second. And I want to say something else about you. The 9
and
is
it's however you get there. There's no one right way to find God, whether it's Krishna,
but it's
Christian,
to know
whether
God.
it's Jewish, whether it's Hindu. It doesn't matter. It's God is God.
I always say, no matter what the faith, the ultimate bottom line is the same. It's about humanity, caring about people, doing good for the world, making a difference. It's all the same. And also, a liar, a cheater, a thief, it's never good. I don't care what faith you have. You do stuff like that and karma will get you.
Oh,
but
yes.
This 9 for you, though, humanitarian and born on a 3-day natural counselor. It's been effortless for you. Obviously, you're a communicator. I'm sure the people watching right now are aware of that, but it really is in your chart. So what I'd like to do is let's talk a little bit about your website, but I'm going to pull Vanessa on if she wants to say something real quick. Let's get her on there. Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi. So I didn't get to say this in our pre-talk. But one of the things that you said when you threw your hands in the air on Wilshire Boulevard, of course, we're from Seal Beach, so we know the area very well of what you speak of. Yeah. But I have to tell you just a real quick snippet of my story. Several years ago, I was just like, Heavenly Father, what's the story here? What do I need to know? Blah, blah, blah. And you know how there's always the algorithm, all that stuff, right? But I went on YouTube and immediately, for some reason, in my algorithm was NDEs. And I went, oh, isn't this interesting? And so I've known about NDEs since 1984. And it was because I had read about one. And then I was given the book in 1993, Embraced by the Light. So yeah, very familiar. I love NDEs. I think they're amazing, but also I've always been a firm believer. We're not alone. We've never been alone.
No.
And so
you don't want to go through it.
I really, really appreciate your story, and I'm so grateful that you're here on Glynis's page. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thanks,
there's no accident. We met a long time ago.
Yeah. And Glynis, are we inviting people on today, or are they just gonna?
I'm gonna be doing reads. I said that. Yes.
Right. I understand that, but are we bringing them on camera, or are we?
No.
Okay.
We're packed with Linda and Glynis.
Okay.
But we will be looking. I'd like them to give their full date of birth. Let's just talk quickly about you being this metaphysical clinician. Talk about that. I really want them to understand what you do.
Okay, as a metaphysician, I went beyond psychic because even though I became psychic that day of the plane crash. It was that day that I started hearing voices in the split with I was out of my body for 4 months, and I used to tell my mom and my sister, I said, I'm hearing voices that I didn't hear before. It all happened on February 17th, 1981, and nobody knew. But as time went on...
Wait a second. Are you saying the crash happened that day?
Mm-hmm. February 17th, 1981.
Okay, no, but that's huge. You just don't know how huge that is.
Oh, no, you can tell me what happened.
I warn people about the 8. 1 + 7 is 8. I always say if it's the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th, you have to proceed with caution. When you're driving, you have to drive defensively. Sometimes I don't even encourage someone flying. Do you happen to know what the flight number was when that happened? 336. Well, maybe in a way, did everyone survive?
We all survived. 109 people. It's called the Miracle Flight. It's in the New York Times, LA Times. I've got all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you said 100 and how many?
109 were on our flight. It was a Boeing 737.
Yeah. So I'm saying that part's the blessing, because I've done a tremendous amount of research about that 8 day.
We were supposed to die. We were the probability of all of us surviving. Yeah. No, it was 2
billion. But when there's a flight number like flight 800, or you break down a number, if the flight number's an 8 and it's an 8 day, I'm like, why take that chance? And when I say take a chance, it could be as simple as they lost your luggage. But who wants to lose their luggage, right? Or like you, I literally had a friend said, Glynis, it was the only flight available. She gets on the plane and the wing starts on fire right when they're on the runway. So it's nuts, but that's huge what happened that day. Just the aid itself to me, and you being so aware, you knew something was wrong before it even happened.
I knew something was wrong. I saw it. I had the vision that I was going to crack. And then when I was on the field and I looked, I said, there's the plane on its belly. But going through it, just so people know, because you hear, like, does your life really flash before your eyes before death? And while we were crashing, first we were bumping on the pavement on the runway, and then all of a sudden we're on the grass, and I grabbed the man next to me on the right who I didn't know, and I grabbed my partner on the left, and I thought, oh my God, we're going to die. And I had just been in San Jose, talked to somebody I knew on the phone, and everything from nursery school on through college, and that moment in time at 27 years of age, it was a month into my 27th year, everything rolls like a piece of tape or film that just didn't stop. I saw my whole life. And then the plane stopped on the grass, and then the stewardess ran down the aisle, and they're not supposed to panic, but they said, everybody off before it blows. We had 90 seconds to get off before asphyxiation. 90 seconds, 109 people got off.
I'm loving all these numbers. The 90 seconds, 336. That was all positive stuff. We're not even talking, bad numbers. I mean, you made it through for a reason, but even being 27, think of all the famous people who passed.
Well, that's my book's coming out this year, and there's a chapter about the stigma of 27, like Janis Joplin and all the people.
Jimi Hendrix,
and what's his name from the Doors? Everybody who died at 27, and yet I survived at 27. There's a whole chapter. My book's coming out this year called The Walk-In.
But remember what I said: the 2-7 is the psychic energy.
Well, maybe I should have you contribute to the book. Maybe I should interview. Maybe I can have you put a little blurb in the book.
Sure. But it's about 2-7, and you made it through. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt on what you just said. I just want you to explain. You were telling us about the crash, but when you help people, because I feel like you're such a healer.
Okay, as a metaphysician, what I do, I have a very diagnostic mind. I hear very quickly. I read by voice. I don't even need to see stuff. Because I read on radio from 94 till now, and I pick up the phone. I already know I can talk to customer service. I know if they're not going to help me and I need a manager, I know I can get some help. I mean, I'm quick to the voice. Because I got into radio at 94, I was the first when Psychic Friends Network came out with Dionne Warwick. I was in that infomercial because I was on the first psychic line in 1992 on the 900 line when all that started. I was way with that, and then I got into KBIG 104. Then I was on national radio for 20 some odd years, KLSX, KBC, all that stuff. But while I was on radio, I realized people wanted more than just answers for their love life or career, that there was more. And I got introduced to candle magic with a Santeria priest. I got scared. Santeria, oh my God, I'm a Jew. I can't do Santeria. It's scary. No, I learned what real candle magic is. So with the candle magic, where there's oils, herbs, and powders, I teach people to become their own alchemists, to open up doors, to bring in love, money, moving things around, winning lawsuits, healing people with health problems, getting rid of negativity, curses, bad luck, winning lawsuits, whatever. But I also learned that as I was growing, I wanted to get the PhD to qualify and quantify my scientific background with the woo-woo, and I got a PhD in metaphysics. I am board certified by the American Association of Holistic, whatever it's called. I've got all the numbers of the authenticity. Next in August, I'm proud to admit that I am a UN speaker and representative, and through the UN, I have just been nominated, and out of 10 people in 87 countries, there's 10 of us out of 100 that are on this global platform. I'm being given an honorary PhD for something, and I'm being given the title Her Excellency. So it's boosted me into this other thing with knowing I'm a psychic healer, metaphysician, because I've taken science and the spiritual and combined it. So I hear the problem. I see the medical, I see the scientific, I see the cognitive, I see the problem, but I also see the solution spiritually. I can bring it all together and integrate mind, body, spirit, just like you saw on my website. And that's not my definition, but the definition of health is the state of mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. That's the World Health Organization's definition of health. I learned that in undergraduate school in 1974 at San Francisco State, and I've never forgotten it because they pounded it in our heads. But when I all this comes full circle as to how I became a metaphysician, because after the plane crash, I remember driving around town with my mom, and I was so out of it. I started reciting things I learned in college because I couldn't remember anything. And I wanted to make sure I was still here because I was changing and I was transforming and I was out of my body. And certain things, epidemiology is, or health is. And I had to try to hold on to a part of me that was no longer, because a walk-in takes over and a new soul takes over. As I got into the radio and helping people, I brought in health, but spiritual health was never addressed. Our generation sees the holistic. That's why we're more into nutritionals, healing, exercise, eating cleaner, prayer, faith. We're on a more spiritual level. And
so I want to ask you a question. When you talk about walk-in, what I've always been told is a walk-in is someone literally replacing that person.
Yep.
But to me,
yep.
But you've been you all along. You don't think you are you?
Nope.
Like you think,
Nope.
Do you have a name for this energy that came in?
No, I didn't change it. No, but I can tell you that the memories are very different. The experiences are very different. I had to learn how to act as if.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my mother had a dear friend named Pearl, that Vanessa would know that name, Pearl, but she got in a major car crash and basically died on the table and then came back. But my mother was convinced she had a walk-in because she was nothing like that person before it happened.
Like, she was more spiritual, more aware. She was more gentle. It's like after having a heart attack, you change. There's a shift.
Yeah, and
there's
sometimes people celebrate that new birthday. Like when it's like born again, they come back to life. They often use that date as their new birthday.
I thought about that. Yep. Yep. No, there's a whole significant, that's a whole nother story, but
right. Well, we're like I said, we plan on having you back, but I want to say this real quick to the audience. Go ahead and give your full date of birth and your quick question that you could have for Dr. Linda Salvin, and we'll let her do a couple of those, okay? And then I will continue after that. But let's do that. I'm going to bring Vanessa in to help them do that. Vanessa, if you see one for her, you'll pull it up, okay?
Well, here's SLP Rose having a crazy issue.
Vanessa, you're on camera. Do you know?
Yeah, I see that. And then Linda saw someone I think she was going to answer because she can see the questions as well.
Who do you see?
SLP Rose, Scorpio, 1950. Any advice about the family? Actually, what I do with candle magic in a situation like that is good luck power and harmony power to calm down the dysfunction, lack of communication, and all the upsets with all the different personalities taking place, especially during the retrograde. All my candles are on sale. If you talk about, if you call me off the air or email me, because the website's still being redone, so we don't have a shopping cart yet. But the Wicks of Wisdom is a candle line that would take all the chaos out of your place here, SL. And the people with all the upset with the jobs, everything will calm down. And I see between now and the end of August, a lot of this will calm down. If you call me up the air after you go to the website or email me, you'll get a 15% discount if you mention this show, and I can help you. A lot of it's just, we all have to blow out this schmutz. I just call it a schmutz removal. Go ahead, Vanessa. What do you see?
I'm going to grab this person real quick and see if you get anything off of this one. This person's just talking about moving, but also you can see that date of birth, Dr. Linda.
Yeah, and I think there's a move at the end of summer over Labor Day weekend going into the fall, not right now in the summertime. No. There's a part of a move coming up, but there's also somebody around you that doesn't want to get their foot out of the sand, like quicksand. Like you want to move, but someone's holding you back. It's not the money, it's the attitude or the commitment or holding on to something. But by the end of summer, early fall, yes, there'll be a move before your birthday. 11/11 is pretty powerful. You can call me off there and give you.
And so what I would add to that, technically, Kelly, we're going to assume that's your name. You're in a personal year of 5. That is not an ideal time to move. So where I agree with Dr. Salvin is the more you get out of this year, like towards the end of it, that last quarter, that's the better time. If you're going to make a move this year,
not this summer.
Yeah, it's not summer, but it may also just be at the beginning of the new year, because what happens when we're in a personal year 5, it doesn't go as smoothly as we'd like it to. And, yes, 11/11 is a powerful time to be born, but you also have intuition. You do, Kelly. So you got to trust it, but it may feel like your life's just moving so fast and you can't focus. So again, I agree. Let's just get you. I'd be looking around for sure, but get it more towards the end of the year or the very beginning of the new year. That would be ideal. All right. Do you see another one, Vanessa?
There's a lot of really great questions here. I've got a gal here. Let's put her on. This is Jennifer.
Oh, finances. You got to turn the fear into faith. You already have enough money. You just don't know how to budget it properly, Jennifer. Now, if you got into the money and success power candles, you start seeing money coming in from options and areas that you didn't even understand. That's why the Wicks of Wisdom were created. When I started in 1999 and I had questions like this on the radio, I was like, what am I going to do? Then I realized, like I said earlier with Glynis, I knew that people wanted more than just answers. This helps you with your own alchemy to draw in what you need. So the money opens up doors. People start filling up their bank account. I can't explain it all in this show, but it's all on Wicks of Wisdom on my site, lindasalvin.com. It's on the internet. I paid Kris Jenner $25,000 years ago to do my infomercial before she had Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This has been around a long time. Email me, call me off the air. I can help you turn that fear. You're already okay. You just don't think you are. You have to turn it around. Is
there a phone number that you'd like them to call?
Yeah, you have a number? I have two. The toll-free number is 888-509-1077, or direct to the office in Los Angeles is 818-821-3322. And I do get back to everybody. We ship all the time, and you pay for an assessment so I can understand what you need. Nothing's for free, of course, but this stuff works. All the testimonials are there. We're still loading. Unfortunately, we got hacked, and the last webmaster, this is part of what we're talking about. 25 years of testimonies. The file got lost. Can't find it. Can't find the frequently asked questions. Can't find the terms of service. Everything's gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
you're saying that's missing right now for you?
No, that's gone from the WordPress. Who the last webmaster somehow didn't transfer when we transferred to the new webmaster. It's literally gone.
Wow. And Dr. Salvin, can you confirm that phone number Vanessa put on the banner? Is that correct?
818-821-3322 is the office, and 888-509-1077 is the toll-free. It's all on the website. It's all there. You just can't purchase online. Although when you talk to me right now, we take Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal.
Okay. So what I'm going to say about Jennifer as well, after you gave your insights, the financial stuff, technically, Jennifer, you're an 8 life path, and 8s often are concerned about money. Like the numbers 2, 4, 8 are business minded. And so when they worry about money, it can get worse. And that's why I always say affirmations are powerful. What Dr. Salvin just talked about, a prosperity candle makes sense to me. But when you start to affirm, when you affirm something positive about the money, it does shift. Because right now you're living in fear, and you cannot live in a negative when you're affirming a positive. So I'm going to give you one that I love, that I wrote. I am a magnet to success, and money flows to me wherever I go. I am a magnet to success, and money flows to me wherever I go. Start doing that. And Jennifer, you happen to be in a personal year of 8. So I'm also suggesting pay attention to your health. If the lower back hurts, your neck, whatever, get it checked before it becomes a problem. Okay. And then you're double 7, born on a 7 day, 7 attitude, spiritual, let go, let God, work on all that spiritual stuff. If you do, you'll have a real good breakthrough by year's end. So there you go. So we both shared our thoughts about that. And one last one with Dr. Salvin, Vanessa. We can't hear you. That's good.
Glynis is the heart numerologist.
Yeah, I'm a matchmaker all the way. I love love.
She loves love.
I do. Go ahead. What do you see?
For Lisa? I don't see love this year. I don't see it at all. Lisa, there's so many blocks around you. There's some, I think you want to be in love, but I think I'm looking more towards the end of 27, 28 for the soulmate to come in. I get people married. If you go online, you'll read through the soulmate power candles. You need to do the good luck power, and the soulmate power is how I help people find their true soulmates, but it doesn't happen overnight. I had one girl do about 7 sets of candles, and they've been married. I performed the wedding as a minister, actually. She did the candles in 07, got married in 08, actually, so they're almost 20 years into it now. But I don't see the right person for you yet, although that person that comes in that you're going to marry is either Capricorn or Cancer. Do you see that for her? I just get somebody, a water sign, maybe Capricorn for her.
Well, and here's how that goes for me. Right. I'm the numbers lady, so it's numerology, not astrology. But I'll tell you what I see. One, you got high standards, Lisa. You're born on an 8 day. That means image, what it looks like. I mean, look, if this person had one tooth in their mouth and a wig and money, you're not going to hook up with them. Okay. It's got to be someone you can tolerate. You're like, oh, this a good looking person and they're smart. This is going to matter to you. Let's see something else I saw. Yeah. Ultimately a 3. Here's my caution. When you meet somebody, make sure, because we are natural counselors, as I said, Dr. Salvin has that 3 as well. You got to be careful not to attract the patient. You don't want to attract someone you're fixing their life. Don't do that. But this year you could get very spiritual about love. Like, I think you have some healing to do from your past love. There's been some stuff, you've made some choices that were not good for you. So there's some scarring. But if you get in the zone, like working on the meditation, and again, I agree with the candles, because that you could light it and then do what I would say love affirmations, because I know you could heal that. You can't attract what you don't believe exists. So you got to get your mind in alignment with love. But this is a good year for the healing. And then it could happen. It could be next year. I mean, I'm excited for where it could go. But again, Lisa, be honest with yourself. You're not going to settle for just anyone. You have high standards.
No, she does. Let me just reiterate something about the candles. These aren't just what you find online. Nobody has these. There's 4 bottles of essential oils that come with the Wicks of Wisdom. There's four different bottles depending on the formula. There's petitions, there's herbs and powders that you get everything, and then it all goes into the candle. And I teach you what goes on the petition that gets burned. So it's not affirmation, it's petition. Everybody's catered separately and differently. So soulmate is not the same as harmony, and it's not the same as good luck. Everything is different. So good luck removes black.
Did you say you use tissue? Did you say that? Like where you put a petition?
This is a petition made out of parchment paper. Everything's provided for you. It's all online. Everything's explained, but it's not just a candle, because a lot of people sell them as affirmation candles. This has nothing to do. This is real alchemy that I was trained by a Sanarian priest in 1999. And then I had a Hasidic rabbi who blessed him. Unfortunately, he passed away before I could get him authorized in the letter, but he blessed him as the Kabbalistic aspect that I added to this. Yeah. So there's a lot of spirit in this, but people become the alchemists. So I teach you how to put the herbs, oils, powders in, how to write the petition, burn the petition. There's 3 candles per set. It can take 7 to 10, 15 days per set. They burn 24 hours a day. You get all the information from me. And then you start seeing the people coming in, or the money coming in, or the negativity leaving. I have a guy who's right now in New Zealand, but he was last year when I was in Dubai, he was in Egypt and Cairo, and I healed him by phone when he was really, really sick. Or I'm doing his candles now. I burn them for him while he's traveling, and he's seeing his health improving. His cousin has 3rd stage cancer, and he just emailed me yesterday that the tumor started to shrink. So I'm doing health and wellness candles.
Wonderful.
There's testimony after testimony. Love, all of it. This is real stuff. This isn't just. This is real metaphysics.
Okay, but be careful, Grasshopper, because affirmations are my jam.
Oh, of course.
I don't do an affirmation candle.
No, you put it all together. You put it all. That's what I'm saying. You put it all together holistically. No, that's what I was saying before. That you and I could.
People have to reprogram how they think. And when I think of your candles, first of all, I love it because it's a process for healing.
Correct.
But I find when I light a candle, there is something so spiritual right away.
It's light.
Just from that.
Light. Because
that's right. And it's hope. And then of course you're psychic. So when you help someone, like the way you could do it You said you lit the candles for him and it worked for him. Is that correct?
No, it's because of what's in the petition of what he has going on, whether it's health or something with his love life or something with his finances. This goes to yet another level.
Right.
This goes
but I love that.
Yeah. This is work.
It makes me think, did you read The Power of the Subconscious Mind? Did you read that? Because you'd love that book, Dr. Salvin. You would love it. Because the fact is, like, you could literally do prayer for someone who's sick that you love and really go to that power and help them heal.
We do. As you do. That's what you and I have in common, because you put the two together. You have this, I have this, and together we have this.
And they're tools. I always say, if someone's gifted, which you clearly are, as am I, thank goodness, but I would say this, all of us come to that same conclusion, which is truth. It's a truth. You can't have many versions of a truth. We all get there, but it's different tools. And that's why I was brought up
to have faith in God, but faith without works is dead.
Yes.
So you and I can give everybody our information, but if they don't take and do something, and then they come back, well, it didn't work, or he didn't call, or this didn't happen. Yeah. Well, what did you do to help? What did you do to make the money? What did you do to save the money? What did you do to meet somebody? Nothing. Well, he's not going to come down the chimney.
You got to be proactive. Proactivity.
Yes. People don't understand that.
Yes. But what I first want to say is thank you so much for sharing your information, but also I wanted my audience to know you, because I know you have a pure gift, and the fact that you've been under siege several times and just made it through, right? You made it through for a reason. And I always believe when we're here, it's just to give more. Like you are, just like your next book, this book you're writing, it's to guide people. It's to help them understand. It's to give them hope and make them feel more at peace, like that information. And I know what a natural teacher you are. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, you may want to interview me, because it sounds like
I do want to interview you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Plus, once I get my show back on the Starlight Cafe, I'm going to bring you on to interview. Yeah. We're almost there. I'm traveling a lot, but in between, I'll get you on.
Okay, and we kept your number on in the website. Guys, make a note of it. You can always come right back to see it. But thank you so much. And what I'll do is just pop her up for now, and you guys can say hey to her. She was wonderful.
That was amazing. Thank you. She was amazing.
Yeah. Well, she's incredible. I mean, she is such a gift. And I will say, when we meet in person, the first thing I noticed when I looked, I go, wow, your eyes look like my eyes. And it's true. Like
I actually giggled and went, oh, it's a soul sister.
She absolutely is.
And then, of course, when she said she went to the University of Michigan, I giggled about that too. Linda, I didn't get to tell you that I actually live in Holland, Michigan.
Yeah, which is great.
But we're Spartans.
Yeah. So what I'll do is we're going to continue. I'm just going to do some quick reads, and then we're going to wrap, because I promised that I would.
Linda.
All right, and we'll say goodbye. She's lovely and just
remarkable.
She's amazing. Like she has so much to offer. And you felt her 3. Now you know where we are the same. I'm double 3. She's a 3-5. The 3 and the 5s are lights, and when you're a light, you have to be careful not to attract bugs. The bugs, right? The emotional vampires. And I
honestly can't wait to order candles.
No, I mean, come on. Who's not going to want them?
Exactly. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
And I also love, because again, when you use a tool, whatever that may be, obviously numbers are my biggest tool. But when you use it and you know it's true, you can't wait to help others do it. And that's exactly what she's about. She's like, look, I have something that can help you. I want to help you. So when her site's doing what it needs to do, but otherwise there's that phone number.
Well, I mean, you know me, I'm a forever fan. I love this. I'm so excited. So thank you, Glynis, for having her on. That was awesome.
Right. She's a delight. Okay. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to go. We just figured this out. I wouldn't kick anybody. Yeah. Good.
That was me.
Good. Thank you. let's see. Well, I'm going to talk to this one just to make a comment about that. Doing my affirmations. You know, Vanessa. Vanessa was gone, by the way. You notice a lot of people like, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. They love you.
I saw our friend Keith Fletcher. Hi, Keith.
Yeah, people love, but a lot of people are like, where's Vanessa? And I had to tell them, especially in email, they've gotten real used to you, boy. Yeah, but where's Vanessa? I'm like, if someone's answering these emails, they're not going to shoplift. They're still legit. But they really trust you, and that's so cool. But so a lot of them missed you. You went on your trip, and what I want to say is affirmations. You know, I did that affirming prosperity. And what I'm now thinking is Dr. Salvin with her prosperity candle and the way she does it, and then affirming. Imagine what could happen.
Imagine.
Fantastic.
Well, and I mean, you know, whether your audience knows this or not, Glynis is queen of the candles.
Yes.
Us growing.
Free lit right now.
Right. Growing up with love and light, and not only are, coming through that way, but also being Catholics, the candle's everything to us.
Yeah.
And so, to know that a candle can be lit and to last 7 to 15 days, whatever it was, what a wonderful thing. Right. And then that you can put your petition inside that candle and it burns with it. That's just lovely. What a great idea.
I think that would be amazing. But again, you know what it is? It's about focus and it's about faith, like trusting that this is possible, because it is. And, but this woman wrote me, Vanessa, the most beautiful testimonial. You'll have to check it in the box. I mean, her life completely changed. She's like, Glynis, I was committed to it. I did it every day. And I did it more than once. Like I would say, hey, do a full 15 minutes. She did it more than that. Every door open. Like when I hear stories like that, I get chills. I get super happy knowing what a difference it makes. And I know Dr. Salvin's the same way when she sees what she offers, transforming people's lives. But let's go ahead and grab a couple people and do some quick reads. We did say ask a question, not just like give your date of birth and ask a question. Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, let's just see this one. Now, this one I think applies to the full moon. This afternoon, I just became sad and wanted to cry. Yes. Yes, Linda. That means you are being impacted by this full moon. Mm-hmm. And again, with Mercury retrograde, the fact that it does literally mess with forms of communication. If you're someone who communicates for a living and you feel misunderstood, that's not fun. Or maybe you have a best friend and you're having a great conversation, suddenly it's misinterpreted. Just be aware. But the moon, the people, if you haven't run a chart yet, you should go to numberslady.com and just order the charts. You know, they're not expensive deliberately because I want you to look at your blueprint, but it helps you understand who you are. And if you have the number 2, the number 7, the number 6 in your chart, you're feeling this. That moon, you don't even know what's above your head. You're like, why am I feeling so off for me? Like, gee, did I forget to take my B12 or vitamin D? That was,
and also what a lot of people don't remember, right, until days later, is how it messes with your sleep. You can be just so exhausted, tossing and turning, and you have body aches you don't normally have. There's so much going on. That vibration is huge. And so if we give ourselves that peace of knowing this too shall pass, it really is going to pass. But when we're in it, we forget.
And also, so the positive side, of course, it's a great time to be writing, writing your truth. What is it you're feeling? If you can't sleep, maybe getting up and just taking a nice warm bath, maybe with, some of those salts that help us get the toxins out. But anything you can do to make yourself feel better is a great idea. But remember, you might feel that you're just oversensitive and people are bugging you, no matter whether it's a friend, family member, or someone on the street. Just say to yourself, maybe I'm being a little oversensitive because I'm tapping into that moon energy. That's important. Okay. So I love that. Linda, let us know that you got that feedback so you know how to handle it. And don't worry that you're crying, because that's scary when you're like, why am I crying? There's your answer. All right. So I'm getting dates of birth, but not a question. I'll go ahead and just grab this one to say something quickly. So I'm just going to call you son, but you are in a personal year of 3. And yes, it means tapping into the inner child, finding ways to express yourself. Okay, that's really important, especially if you're a serious person, like you never do that. You kind of operate from the adult that you are. That's not good. Right now, you want to have fun. This is a time to have a good time. All right, I'm going to go like this just to tap more into this. Hold on, if I can. Okay. But what I also see, 7 life path, 4, 5, 6, 7. So remember we talked about that. You have a 2 attitude, born on a 1 day, 7 life path, very cerebral. The 1, 5, 7 are the mind numbers. They live in their head. And that means you got to find ways to escape that, right? So exercise, yoga, meditation, anything you can do to just quiet your mind is a good idea. And then what I'd say about 7, if they have faith, they're remarkable. Like it's fun to listen to when they talk about it. But if they don't have faith, it's usually because someone tried to shove religion down their throat or try to control what they think. And that's never good for the 7. So yeah, the 7 finds themselves saying, well, who am I? What am I? Why am I here? So that's what you're going to get your answers. You'll get those answers in this lifetime. But right now, instead of being that observer that you can be as a 7, tap into your inner child, play music that makes you happy. Maybe take a class where you're moving your body in a fun way, dance, right? Something. Use this. Get inside your body. 7s often are not. I make jokes that they're like a hologram. They're like mentally observing everyone, but they kind of left the building. So yeah, anything that puts you back in your body in the cycle of 3 is a good idea. Celebration, having fun. Okay, thank you. I'm going to grab Vanessa and let her pick somebody. Vanessa, who do you see?
All right, Glynis. All right, I'm back on. I was muted because I was having that lovely cough again. I apologize. Yeah. I think this one right here.
Okay, so why is it funny? I mean, I'm not even looking to know why you think it's funny, but I'm going to go like this. I can't seem to say the right thing. Oh, okay. Other than a Band-Aid over my mouth. Oh, Vanessa, no wonder she laughed. Yes. You know what? Honestly, I mean, I recently had something happen with someone that I adore. I can't even love this person more. And yet something happened where I was misinterpreted and I was shocked. But the advice is surrender. Just go, hey, I'm sorry. I love you. I adore you. I'm sorry. That's how it came across because that's not my intention. It's the best thing you can do. To do the debate, to defend yourself, any of that is not the way to play it. And remember, this is not permanent. The full moon stuff, the Mercury retrograde, it doesn't last forever. But I noticed something else that's happening with you. You are in a personal year of 4. My gosh, I'm going to pull Vanessa on this only because she's permanently got the 4 attitude. Vanessa, this gal is in a personal year of 4, which means she's speaking her mind.
Yeah.
And it's about the truth. Like to her, it's like, look, all I did was tell the truth as the person's on the floor in shock with what was said. So yeah, this cycle, what I'd say, focus on learning, taking courses, something you want to learn that you didn't know. Maybe you have a job. If you got this little degree, you can make more money, stuff like that. If you focus on that in the cycle of 4, you get a payoff. But yeah, so go ahead.
Vanessa. So one little piece of advice, because like Glenna says, I do live in the 4 as my 4 attitude. And so does Linda, our guest today. I want to tell you, one of the things, obviously, as we get older, we figure a few more things out. And I would say really the number one thing is to pause and ask, did they ask me for advice?
Ah, that's a good one.
Because oftentimes we really think, like, oh, I know the answer. I'm just going to give it to them. But the real question is, did they even ask? So if the answer is no, then zip it.
Right.
And you may know the answer, but you know what? We literally are all here on a journey. And even though you may think, well, yeah, but I'm helping them, doesn't matter. It's still their journey. Let them live it.
But the best thing you said is to say, wait, did they ask my advice?
Yes, because that if they didn't, Band-Aid. Yeah, really, truly. I mean it. That is the best advice I can give you.
It's really good. And to ask it while you're sitting there when you're talking to that person. Yeah, yep. I like that. Okay, let's see. I just saw a really good one, Vanessa. And then it disappeared. Where did you go? I saw one that just were really helpful to that person. But I'll go ahead and just jump on this one. That's not the one I saw. But Vanessa, if you saw one, if one jumps at you that was a very specific question, we'll grab that last one, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So, Sylvia, is 2026 going to be a good health year for me? Okay. 5, 6. So she's in a cycle of 6, which is good. 6 and then 7, 1. Looks like she's a 1 life path. You know what I'd say about that? You have great power over your health, right? And when you're in a cycle of 6, the 6 is the nurturer, like it's taking care of you. So the big thing you have to do, Sylvia, what are you doing to take care of yourself? Like, what choices are you making? Are you eating all this horrific processed food that gets us sick? Or are you already a girl who's kind of into the healthier way of eating? And then movement. You know, this having a computer in front of us all day does not help us move our body. And yet if we don't move our body, it's a real problem, right? So what do they say now, Vanessa, that sitting in at your computer is worse than a smoker? Isn't that what they're saying?
Yeah, it's equivalent to being a smoker. Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that amazing? So, of course, my advice, Sylvia, just in case, because I'm sitting at this computer, every hour or two, I do get up. I do my laps. Yes, I do, like a little weirdo. And I say that with love. But I walk through the thing, and Charlie's usually in one room, and I'm like, hey, can you hear me? He's, oh, no, honey, you're so stealth-like. I didn't hear a sound, you know, as I stomp through the hall.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, I always refer to you as a ballerina. I can't hear you at all.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Vanessa. But yeah, so that's the key. You have the gift this year to heal your body. Yes, you do. 6 is wonderful. It's like it empowers us to be strong. So that's my answer. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I hit that, didn't I? It said I hit it, but it didn't. Vanessa, yes.
Yeah, it went away.
Okay. I'm doing this other one. And guys, listen, again, what we say, if you enjoy this, because I'm doing live events for you, literally my audience. If you love it, you need to subscribe. You also need to click the notification bell so that you know that I'm on air. And you know, when you subscribe, that means you're a priority for an answer to your question. Keep that in mind. But also, I think Dr. Salvin gave us a lot of information, her own testimonial of living in this lifetime. Imagine if you were in a plane crash or you went through all these near-death experiences. That cannot be fun. But the fact that she got through it means she's here literally for a reason. And as you can see, she's a healer. Mm-hmm. And she's done it forever. Like she said, when she did it on the radio, she was called to it always.
And there's a lot of really great comments about candles and lighting. And some people have had candles burning for years and years. And yeah, a lot of great feedback.
This was a fun one. Let's check this out. Whoa. See, look. Now, guys, this is the old Mercury thing, right? The way things disappear. I love that. Maybe they just want us to listen.
Oh, right. That was in, yes.
Well, that's true what you said. And boy, is that true, you know?
Yes.
And it's tricky, especially if you're someone who naturally gives advice or you're someone who's good at solving problems. It doesn't mean they want you to solve theirs. They want to walk through it. They want to process it and want your maybe sympathy or understanding, but not always. Yes. All right. This one's adorable. She said the right thing. So I'm going to grab it right here. Right here. Huh. I'm trying to click on it, but it's not doing it. Hold on. But I just told you why, guys. This is a great example. I had the one that said, will I meet my Charlie? Did you see that, Vanessa?
I did not.
Well, it's on there, and I tried to click it, but it didn't work.
Okay.
So
sorry.
I wanted that date in order to answer that question. Do you see it?
I don't. Mm-mm.
Huh. Well, I'm determined, you see, because I'd have to look at that person's birthday. Okay. And then I'm clicking
well,
that.
Tell them to reach out to Glynis at numberslady.com.
That's what I'm going to say. First of all, they ain't nobody like Charlie.
Oh my gosh.
You can get close. Let me tell you what makes him amazing besides so many things that I say. I do love him, Vanny. You know I do. But here's what he did.
I do know this to be true.
And it's 24 years, Vanessa, that we first started talking in July. That's when we first started talking 24 years ago. But what I would say is, here's what he did. Like, you know, yes, we're taking care of my mom a lot. And my sister Julie took her for a couple weeks. So we had a break and, you know, made more time for each other. But the sweetest thing he did, Vanessa, and I did put it on Instagram and Facebook, he went to run an errand. He comes back with roses.
Yeah, they were beautiful.
Right? And for no reason. Vanny, there was no reason. Like, to me, to get something on an occasion is wonderful. But to get it just because.
Well, you know me, I'm the no reason girl.
Yeah.
I'm the give me things for no reason any day.
Right.
I don't want the expectation. I want for no reason.
Yeah. Yes, but aren't you also the girl who thinks flowers are for funerals?
Yes, I'm also that person. Yes. Give me a rose bush that I can plant in my yard.
Well, yeah, but with you, Vanessa, you also love gifts. Like when you do.
I do. I love a good gift for sure. It's my love language. I buy people gifts all the time.
Right. And so here we are, the Charlie girl. Okay, born the 20th, 4. So we got 424. Well, first of all, I'd say, Nancy, you're very capable of having a Charlie because you have relationship numbers. You know, 2 is love. You must have a romantic streak. And please comment so people see that. Oh, speaking of comments, Vanessa, type in the banner. They need to comment real, not just in this little thing we're doing that's live, but I do read their comments after this video airs and I will respond. So definitely put comments below the video when it comes out. But going back to this, the 20th, you know, you feel things so deeply. And that also means when you love with all your heart. And then you're ultimately a 4, which is considered a commitment number, meaning if I make a commitment, I stand by it. So you have that ability to love like that. And then you have a 4 attitude. Now, if you say, Glynis, can I find love this year? Personally, you're a 5. No. And it's not that you couldn't meet somebody, but he might turn out to be a serial killer just later. You just didn't know. Just kidding. Let's never forget double 3, right, Vanessa?
I never forget, Glynis.
Thank you kindly. My point is they won't necessarily be who you thought they were. That's why it's tricky, but you can have fun. Personally, you're a 5, you can have fun. You can actually do affirmations for love. You can just work on that part of you. Absolutely. But next year, when you're in a cycle of 6, Nancy, if you do the work, you could find your Charlie. The fact is, I did my affirmations for 6 solid weeks before I had my first phone call with him because I realized I was hanging out with what I call the X-Files. I was with this person who has passed away because God is good. But anyway, we were on a boat and it was 4th of July. And all I could think is, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm so not happy with this person. I really would welcome love. And there I was helping everyone else find it. And then along came Charlie, St. Denny, young blood. So yeah, it's possible, but you got to be proactive. Thanks for your question. All right, so I'm going to do this. And I'm going to say to Vanessa, again, thank you for being a part of this, Fanny. You were missed.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, lots of fun. You guys are signing off, and this will be here for you. I'm going to go like this. And thank you very much. I'm Numerologist Glynis McCants, and I'll see you again. I will be doing more of these. As long as you guys subscribe and follow, it will be well worth our while to hang out with you and bring special people in like Dr. Linda Salvin, who, again, is remarkable. Learn more about her. Not a waste of your time. Very gifted. Thank you.